So I'm just going to set up some lighting in here because there's just too many shadows with the main bulb from the ceiling. You see the shadows just get cast over everything. And I picked up a couple of these sort of camera or photography bulb holders. Usually they're for mounting in, I think, for umbrellas and things to reflect the light. So I picked these up, and what I'm looking at doing is mounting a couple of these underneath the shelf, perhaps somewhere like that, just to get a bit of light. Probably one that side and another one over here somewhere. Hopefully that will get me better light source and less shadows. As you can see, this thing can be adjusted, and what I'm going to do, normally you would mount this on a pole with a special attachment in this hole. What I'm going to do, where this threaded hole is here, I'm going to drill a hole in the other side, and then I've got a bolt, a couple of bolts, which I'm then going to put through this here, and that will screw into this threaded insert here and bolt that to the shelf. So this will be on the other side of the shelf. Obviously I'll have to drill a hole in the shelf as well, and then that can basically go something like that, and then the bulb will come out here. So this is one end of the shelf where this is going to be mounted, and the idea is that will be able to be mounted up there like that, and the bulb will be more over that way, and that should hopefully provide a decent amount of light for the time being. It's a bit tight. So hopefully now, yeah, that's a nice snug fit. If the camera will actually focus, it would be nice, but there we go. And then that can now screw into that insert, and that will be clamped onto there. Then it's not quite as central as I'd like it to be, but not to worry. The trick now is to get the hole drilled in the shelf right. Okay, so I've got this mounted on here. The bolt just reaches the threaded insert here. I've had to take the wing nut, this, off of here because it was going to hit the underside of the shelf, unfortunately. So I need to find a nut to go on there. Now obviously for the time being it means there's going to be a wire having to go up here out of the way, and there's this nut here, so it's not really ideal for the shelf, but I think that the minute priority is to be able to just get things up and running and get some light in here, and I shall put another one somewhere over here. Okay, so I found a couple of nuts that should be good enough to replace these thumb screw things, or thumb nuts, whatever they are, wing nuts. So that should solve that problem, and I'll put the other one up there. And obviously again the same thing here, just need to remove this. It's taken forever. And then drill that out again. Just go through here, try and get it fairly central. You have to start with a smaller bit because otherwise you chew all the thread out of the metal insert in here on the end here. So you go through that way with a small drill bit, and then you can go back through the other way with a bigger drill bit to open the hole up. That seems to be the easiest way to do it. That's that one done. It's not really too bad that time. And then again, that can just go through and then lock onto there, and that will clamp against the top side of the shelf. Get rid of all that crap. And again, I'll make another hole in the shelf, and then mount this to it. I can't really video that because I've not got anything set up for the camera to do that yet. And again, another hole in the shelf, goes through to the top here, and then I shall just get the bolt, drop that through the hole, and then that will attach into the bulb holder the other side. So before I finish the lights, the other thing I've got that I wanted to do is attach this gooseneck to the shelf, so I could have a different camera at a different angle rather than this top down one. But it's got this silly peg clip thing on it, and it's not very good, so I'm going to risk trying to get this out and hopefully not get my eye taken out by the spring in it. If we can get it out. And the only thing I can really think to do is to somehow try and perhaps drill some holes through this again onto the top of the shelf, which is not what I really want to do, but and then I hang this part over the shelf, so if the shelf is there, that will hopefully give it enough stability. We shall see. Okay, so I've got two holes in. I need to put one somewhere up the front here. I'm just going to go and have a look where's going to be a good place to do that on the top of the shelf. Okay, so I've got the gooseneck mounted on the shelf, just a big screw that goes all the way into this wooden support beam here, and then a couple of small screws just into the chipboard, so no holes all the way through. And then that just gives this neck then that I can position. My idea is to hopefully be able to put a camera on the end here, facing in that way or something towards the desk. We'll see if that works. You can see the actual metal on this clip is really quite flimsy and thin. It's not strong enough at all, really. I'm not really too keen on this thing being here because it's right at the front of the desk. I think it's going to get on my nerves, to be honest, but we'll give it a go. I can always take it off if I don't like it. So I'll get the bulbs in now, in the lights, and give them a go. So the bulbs I've bought for this are supposed to be photographic type bulbs. The make is FOT R, I think. You can see on there, FOT R. Probably some cheap make, and then there's the details of the bulb itself. Put it that way. But these are absolutely massive. I mean, this is a standard household bulb, and that's just the base of this bulb is bigger than the whole of a standard household bulb. They're ridiculously big, and these aren't the biggest ones they do. So we'll have to see how these work out. So I'll get these mounted in the holders, and then we'll see what difference it makes. Okay, so I've got this, it's just an old motherboard. Just got the normal room light on. You can see there's shadows and things everywhere. So let's give these a go. Oh, that's one on the right. That's definitely a bit on the bright side, and on the left. I don't think the camera's adjusted itself very well there. Okay, so I've messed around with the settings a bit because that was far too overexposed. It's looking okay. The colours are looking okay on the camera. I'll have to see when it's on the PC, see what it looks like. Maybe a bit too bright in some ways. It's a bit glary, but definitely an improvement, I think, with the shadows. And yeah, everything's looking okay. It's not flickery. I've had to make some changes to get rid of the flicker. I can't really see any flicker on there. It looks pretty clear to me, so that's all good. So as you can see here, there's plenty of light on the desk now. That's the setup. The bulbs are up there. Obviously the white walls and the white underside of the shelves helps reflect a lot of that light down. You see the gooseneck there. Yeah, that seems to be okay. We'll give it a go, see how things come out. Can always change it at a later date. The plan is hopefully to have LED lighting under the shelf instead and have it much more spread out. So hopefully there won't be so much glare then, because you do get a bit of glare. Like on here you can see a bit of glare on this board down here just reflecting off the light. So yeah, that'll do. On to the next job.